Are you someone that feels like you're really struggling, really criticizing and beating yourself up because you don't look the way that you want to look and that you had this expectation to look based on how good you've been with your eating habits and your exercising habits? Like you've been maybe on this health and fitness routine for a few months and you're like, dude, why aren't I getting the results that I'm being told and that I'm seeing, right, on social media places that I should be getting, right? Do you still have the cellulite on your hips? Do you still have bulging belly fat? Do you still feel like okay, your legs aren't toned enough, or do you just still feel like very disappointed in the results of your body after you've been exercising regularly, eating pretty good, and you're like, oh, what the heck? Like it didn't used to be as hard. So I wanted to talk about this in this video today because I met up with my one of my really good dear friends um, for our half price bottle wine night at this tavern right in our neighborhood. And I love meeting up with her because we talk about all the things. We talk about our relationship, we talk about our toddlers, we talk about our bodies, we talk about, planning trips together and doing fun things. And I wanted to talk about this because it's like, if we're thinking about this and talking about this for a long time, you probably are too, which is why you landed on this video. So I just wanted to shed some light on this topic and really like normalize it and help you to hopefully get into a little bit of acceptance of no, like, yes, you're doing a lot of the right things and you're not getting the results that you want, but how to get into acceptance for the results that are happening and for the other, things that you're noticing that you do like really based on like the feeling, like how you're feeling when you're taking care of yourself. So buckle up. That's what we're going to talk about, and you'll enjoy this conversation if that speaks to you. Before I dive in, though, to chat more about this, I just want to introduce myself in the event you're brand new to my channel. My name is Nikki McMillan. I've been a life coach for almost 8 years. I've been helping women with a whole bunch of things, relationship stuff, self-care, their confidence, setting boundaries, creating healthy habits and sustaining them in a way that's actually practical and that you look forward to. And, just a lot of things like that. So you'll notice if you skim through or just, watch some of my videos on this channel, it's a mix of topics. And I hope you find some good things. I hope you enjoyed this conversation today and definitely subscribe to my channel if you are vibing with my personality and the things that I'm talking about here. Um, okay, so let's dive into it. So we were talking last night about, I was telling her about my trip to Italy and how we did the beach a lot, beautiful beach. And my husband was taking photos of my daughter and I together. And I was like, oh my God, my legs look like that. And she was the same thing. She had just got back from a trip from Mexico. And she was like, oh my God, I look like that. And it's just so funny to me. Not funny, but it never seems to amaze me how no matter how good you look, like I was looking at her photos, I'm like, girl, you look gorgeous. And she was saying the same to me. And we see and notice what is our own bodies, and we're looking at photos, we're seeing and noticing what no one else notices. And so we were talking about that, complaining. I want to say complaining, but we were just talking about that for quite some time during our conversation. And, it came to the conclusion, after we're wrapping up that topic to talk about other things that are more meaningful, that, this is just what it is. After having a baby, your hips are going to be wider. And we are not going to have the energy and the stamina to do these crazy freaking workouts that we did in our 20s and 30s and like feel good about it and get the same results, right? And we were also talking about how, we were just in our past really rigid with how much food we ate, like the calorie counting thing, and how we kind of got into the habit of doing that after having, our babies. And it's like, it's just not sustainable to track everything that you're eating and really just to deprive yourself, right? So, anyway, how we wrapped up the conversation, and I want to share this because, like, this isn't a secret. Like, all of us women, especially in your 40s, especially after you had a child, or even if you haven't, you're just in your 40s and you're noticing, wow, I can't really, eat the things or do these things that I used to be able to do when I was younger and still maintain, a physique that I would like. So here's what I'm coming to understand. And I have like my moments to where I do beat myself up a lot. And then I have my moments where I'm like, I just can't behave that rigid, and nor do I want to miss out on the joys of some really fun things to eat and drink in life. So here's what we had wrapped up the conversation with. It's like, look, here's what we are in control of. We are in control of making sure we move our bodies every day and also eating healthy, right? Cooking for ourselves and being mindful with what we eat. But other than that, the results the results are out of our control. We have hormonal changes. You have literally your bones and your body is changing after you give birth. Like literally, your bones, your structure like changes. And the metabolism just isn't there. That's just what comes with aging, right? And it's like I was telling her, I I feel good. Like what really makes me feel good and in a good mindset most days is if I am exercising, right? Like I do yoga every other day and then I do a like designed program workout from, my trainer. Like as long as I'm doing the things that are in my control, right? And I'm eating healthy, okay, like 80, 90% of the time, it's like I gotta accept the results that are gonna come. I can't control the cellulite that doesn't want to go away, right? I can't control the hip widening that just kind of like what happens and is there after having a baby. I can't control the change structure and like this little bit of like, stomach, I don't want to say like stomach fat, but just like how my stomach changed. Like I like there's only so much that I can do. And I shared this with her and I'm sharing this with you because it's like if you continue to obsess and really like kill yourself to change these things that aren't really in your control, it's like you're wasting your time. You're suffering emotionally, mentally, with the relationship you have with your body. If you are continuing to harbor on and obsess about the things that are out of your control. I mean, it's just like if you have this relationship, right? Maybe it's a really challenging relationship with a family member. And it's like the only thing that you're in control of is your behavior and your actions and what you do, right? Setting this boundary with them, meaning not taking every phone call when they call you every day to bitch about whatever, right? The boundary is you not picking up the phone every single time they call, this family member. The boundary is not responding back to a text right away with this family member, right? So that's what you're in control of is that action, okay? We can't change that person's behavior, the family member, to where you have this dysfunctional relationship, but you can change your behavior and then your action, right? A lot of times when you're setting boundaries, it's really about it has everything to do about you and what you do, and because you can't control what they're going to do. And I use that as an analogy with like, the weight loss thing in your 40s and really get it into like leaning more and more into compassion and acceptance for your body with where you are at life now in your 40s and with um just like what you can do. You can exercise every day like lovingly. You don't want to beat yourself up and exercise to where you can't move for 3 days afterward, right? You don't want to eat to where you're only eating 500 or 1,000 calories a day and you have no energy. So you're like blah and moody and snippy all the time. You know what I mean? Like you are, it's you're you only have control over how you like back to the, the weight loss thing and get into body acceptance. It's just moving your body, eating healthy. That's really all it is. It's just moving your body. Strength training is important as we're older. Lifting weights so you can build your muscle, right? Not just preserve it. I mean, that's the main thing, preserving it, but building it because muscle is what burns fat, right? So we need to strength train. We have to lift weights and not just rely on cardio, right? Because cardio is not, that's not going to help you. Muscle is what burns fat. And after you do a weight training session, you're going to burn fat days after or burn calories days after. And like what you eat, right? Like really get an adequate amount of protein, but not being obsessed with tracking, oh my God, how much protein am I eating? That's just not fun. Because then that can bring on stress. And when you're stressed, you're going to hang on to weight, right? And if you're hungry, you're not going to be able to sleep. And when you're not getting adequate sleep, your body's stressed and you're not going to lose weight. You're just not going to feel good about yourself. So I wanted to talk about this topic today. And I'm not, an expert in fitness. I don't have any credentials in that. I mean, actually, I do, but they expired because I never knew them. But if you just really think about and try to lean into all that you are doing to take care of yourself and have compassion for how you take care of yourself and do it in a lovingly way. I mean, I feel like you could and I could, I mean, at every, I have my moments if I'm like scrolling on social media too much, looking at this 40-year-old who has this perfect body. I'm like, okay, I need to have a boundary with certain accounts that I follow. So maybe you need to have a boundary with certain accounts that you follow to where you don't get in this comparison mode. But it's like you could accept your body more the more that you compassionately, respectfully, lovingly care for it and nurture it, right? So that's what was on my heart today to talk to you about. I hope that this is landing for you. If it is, if it was helpful, please give this video, a like, a thumbs up. Definitely subscribe to my channel if you want more, real talk conversations like this, if you appreciate that kind of thing. And I also wanted to let you know that if you're interested, if you've been craving a women's reprieve, a retreat, and you want to talk about topics like this, right? Relationship with yourself. You want to talk about creating healthy habits. You want to talk about, building your confidence and setting boundaries and just really, starting to live a life that feels like authentic and true and aligned for you. This is the retreat. We're going to talk about all of these things, have these exercises, okay, and these conversations in my next women's retreat that's going to be coming out in November, or that I'm going to be hosting. I haven't landed on the exact date yet, but it's going to be around November, December of this year, of 2025. And I'm pretty sure it's going to be in Florida because I want it to be in warm, sunny weather. I envision us being by a really nice pool and just really getting cozy there, having these deep conversations there, and also having fun and having a nice, like, healing plus playful weekend retreat experience. So that's it. If you're interested in an environment like that and you want to give this gift to yourself for, the holidays later this year, send me an email because I don't have the landing page and wait list set up just yet for the retreat. My assistant's working on that. Send me an email at Nikki@nikkimcmillan.com. I'll put that in the description, and just say, I'm interested in the retreat. And I will be sure to put you on the wait list for it. And so that way you'll be updated with, the updates and all the details that are going to be coming out in the next couple of weeks. Okay, thank you so much for joining me today, early this morning, 8 a.m. on Friday. June 27th. Love having you here again. Subscribe to my channel if you are feeling my vibe and this kind of style of YouTube videos. And Yeah, I mean, in the meantime, perhaps check out this video here. What video do I want to put up there? It is going to be the basics of self-care. I did this one about a couple months ago. I think it is a good segue into what I talked about here today when it comes to healthy weight loss and body acceptance. So check it out here, and I'll see you in another video. If not tomorrow, it's going to be on Monday. Okay, bye for now.